Here, I'm gonna do a thing.
Hi, YouTube.
Hello? Are we finally ready for the Q&A? Sorry about this. A lot of things happened. Not a good excuse, but let me find the right button here. Not a good excuse, but here we are. It's time for another Q&A.
Hello, everyone. We're back.
Hopefully there won't be a gap again between this one and the next one. I might have said that last time, but this is the actual time. This is the actual time.
Look, we said it probably wouldn't take 9 months this time. I don't think we promised. There was illness, there was moving, there was stuff, okay? There was just stuff.
Beth said there's like 14 questions. I have not looked at them. I'm gonna open them right now. I'm clicking the DM that has them in. I'm gonna go through. I'm just gonna read them through the whatever this is, Word doc, and we'll answer all the questions, and that'll be that. And I'm sure Beth usually gets asked some questions too, so we'll see. If there's a little weird stuff going on with the camera, sorry about that, because like down here, my green screen is not as well lit. Wow, that's bright white. All right, without further ado, let us proceed. First question, I'm just gonna go top to bottom through these questions. First question is, turn down the music a tad, from a bald dude. Thank you for your dedication to gaming and uploading videos. Your streams and videos, along with your personality and gaming style, create a very positive community, and I'm happy to be part of it. Hey, thanks for being part of it. Do you feel that you have a new approach to games, aggressive versus passive, since the issue with bells, or do you still play the game the same way? No, that definitely hasn't had any impact on the way I play games. I'm trying to think like how it could. I don't know. It definitely not. I think I just play the exact same way. When I was happening and I like couldn't close my eye, it probably affected the way I played games a little bit. Maybe a little more passive, because I was at one point, like as I was starting to recover, especially after I had the Bell's palsy, or toward the end of it, I had problems with coming off steroids, and I had like adrenal fatigue, and I was super tired. So I was actually using PUBG as like a benchmark every day and play a game to see like how, because I was having trouble like holding my arms up and stuff like that, and sitting up straight and all that. So like during that probably, but other than that, I mean, I'm fine now. I think I just playing normally. So yeah. Also, who is your favorite band / artist? Picard doesn't count. Dang. I actually have been asked this quite a bit, and I honestly don't have. I'm sorry about this answer. I am sorry, but I don't really have a favorite band or artist. I have always listened to like so many different kinds of music, and I'm really bad even about naming bands or artists or names of songs. I'm horrible about it. So I just don't have one, but I listen to everything. I really do. I used to listen to everything except country, but now actually, like, thanks to Truck Sim, I like country. So I just really enjoy all music. Even like whenever I'm off stream playing something, I might just be listening to like the Spotify playlist of like top hits for right now. I might be listening to country. I might be listening to classical. I might be listening to jazz, hip hop. I really just kind of enjoy just listening to whatever's on, basically. So probably can thank my parents for that. They listen to a lot of different kinds of music as well. So so yeah, sorry for the non-answer. Next question is from Bubble Sheep. I'm sure this will have nothing to do with the zoo. It does. Likelihood of you seeing this before a trip to DC? Low. Dang. I'm so you might not believe this, but I was going to go on that trip. And I know you don't maybe believe that, but I actually was considering going on that trip. I was going to go because it is drivable. Chicago to DC is drivable. It's like 10 hours. I was going to drive. But then I started dying, so sorry about that. In that case, our field trip to the zoo was amazing. Thank you for organizing. No problem. But really for Choco, are you interested in themed/story-driven city builders? One of my greatest wishes, if you haven't played it, is to do a playthrough of Frostpunk on stream, but let chat pick the 50-50 story-driven options. Do we send the children to the mines, or allow them to be children? Send them to the mines. No, sorry, let chat decide. Think of the chaos, yeah. So I have played Frostpunk a little bit, not on stream, but I would consider, actually it's funny you asked this, because I was actually talking about something with Bob the other day, which is RimWorld. So I don't know if you've played RimWorld, Bubble Sheep, but it is, in my opinion, the best story-driven city builder. It's not like Frostpunk exactly, but it has the best narratives, which is also the best of any of that type of game, like by far. And I would actually stream that. And there are decisions to make in that as well. So that could be fun to let chat decide things. I don't know, that game might even have Twitch integration or something, because I'm pretty sure it has mod support. It definitely has mod support. So that could be something we could try. I've thought about playing it on stream for a while. Like, I don't know, this summer, let me look how many hours I put into it. I was my main off-stream game, RimWorld. Let me see, I probably don't have as much time in it as I think I do. Probably like 100 hours. Not even. 60 hours, okay. So, I don't have that much time in it, but... Oh, maybe I played on a different Steam account, though. I don't know. I have another Steam account because it's for Rust. Anyways, maybe we'll do some RimWorld. It would be chaos. I don't know if those kind of games are the best for watching, but some people would enjoy it. I'll just do a stream for you, Bubble Sheep. Just for you.
Oh god, this one's from Bubble Sheep. Question for Beth. What's been your favorite series game of Choco's to edit? I really like editing DayZ, but I think my favorite was Raft with Julian, Jason Soley, and Reed. That was so funny. Jason Soley and Julian are hilarious, and the four of those together is a phenomenal dynamic. And just fighting the sharks and going to the different POIs, like, I was laughing my booty off the entire time I was editing that series. And that, you know, it's nice when your work can be fun and it's not just drudgery. I'll be honest, these days with PUBG, I struggle to focus on the game because I've been editing PUBG for 6.5 years now. Like, I've edited like 3,000 PUBG videos. It gets old. You start to not pay attention anymore. But with Raft, I was into it. I was in it the whole time, and it was so fun. It was so good. So I would love to see those four get together again for something. Maybe in 2025, we'll see. But definitely Raft was the best. I'll link it here if you haven't seen it. Watch it. It's good.
Okay, Spartan Gaming has the next question. First off, we're all very happy you're on the mend and back to streaming. Thank you. I know it's like a lot later now than it was, but I appreciate that. That really sucked. You have so many fans and we're all worried sick. Anywho, question for Choco and Beth. Okay, question for Beth. What was the first game that really got you hooked and made you realize, oh, I'm a gamer now? Definitely it was Half-Life. I've mentioned this maybe a couple times. Half-Life, the first Half-Life was the first game that I got good at, I think. I was like maybe 12 or something, and Half-Life Deathmatch, I don't know what it was, I just enjoyed it, and it was the kind of game where if you're good, you can just completely take control of games and just own everyone. And so I don't know what it was, but I wanted to do that, and I did, and it was really the first game I got super good at. So that's definitely the first one. After that, it was just Counter-Strike was probably the next one after that, and then that really sparked my kind of competitive. Before that, I wasn't very competitive in games, I don't think. But yeah, sometime around, definitely Half-Life. I was probably, maybe I was like 11, 12. I don't know. What year was Half-Life? Anyway, 100%. I know the answer to that one. Of course, back then, gaming wasn't like a thing that you could do a career in, so I wasn't like, I don't know. I wasn't thinking I was a gamer, but. Okay. Next question. Luis. Wait, that question was for Beth too, wasn't it? Wow. Beth's gonna say Stardew Valley. Checkmate.
From Spartan Gaming, question for Choco and Beth. What was the first game that really got you hooked and made you realize, oh, I'm a gamer now? None of them. I'm not a gamer. I would not call myself a gamer. About once a year I'll get hooked on Stardew Valley, and I'll need to do like a 1 year challenge, first year challenge playthrough of it. And that's about it. I just don't play games. I sit at my computer all day and edit, and then I'm sick of being in here, and I go out there into the rest of the house and I do other things. So gaming is actually just not my forte. And if you had asked me when I was in college or grad school if this is what I would be doing as a career, I would have laughed in your face. So, yeah, Stardew Valley. And Choco is actually the one who gifted me that game. So that's pretty much the only game I'll get really hooked on. Okay, Eco, though. I did play Eco this year, and it was a lot of fun. But that game will ruin your life. So don't do it. But do it.
Sorry, Luis. Hi, Jake and Beth. 2 questions for you. Number 1, streaming is your job, and the balance between what you want and enjoy playing and what the audience wants you to play is something you got to deal with. Yes, it is. What are the games that hit the sweet spot? The sweet spot in between that nowadays. That's a good question. I think I don't think it's very common for a game to actually hit that sweet spot. For almost for very few streamers, probably. But the one that comes to mind is actually DayZ. DayZ, I think, is the only game I've played at post PUBG that I've actually seen my viewership go up and maybe experience some growth in the channel. And have that's also the game that I've just had the most amount of viewers consistently that's not PUBG. So I would definitely say DayZ. Everything else is the problem is DayZ. I was so in love with DayZ, but I've kind of fallen out of love with it. It is a game that has a lot of issues. So I don't play it that much anymore. And now I've been playing stuff maybe Rust, but that's I really enjoy it, but the viewership's not as good. Or I've been playing Tarkov. I really enjoy it. Viewership's even less good. So trying to find that balance is certainly very challenging. And it's not something I honestly expect to find. If it happens, it happens, and it would be a surprise. The only way that happens really is if a new PUBG or PUBG 2.0 or whatever comes out. I think that's the only way that actually happens. So that's a good question, though. Definitely something that streamers that are trying to do other games struggle with big time. It's not easy. And then let's see, part 2 or question 2. What were your top 3 movies or series of 2023? When was 2023? Maybe I'm gonna look up. I don't know, dude. what movies came out in 2023 is what I'm trying to think of right now. I'm doing a Google. Top movies 2023. These are all... I'm looking at movies. I will always pay attention and we'll watch stuff that comes out that is something that we would like. But I'm looking through the movies from 2023. 2023 might have not been a good year for movies. The Covenant, I mean, that was okay. I mean, it was good. It's not like amazing. I mean, like also from, you know, obviously I've watched things maybe in 2023 that weren't new. Maybe, I don't know. That's a long time ago though, so I'm trying to think like for the past, since 2020, like we've been watching so much Star Trek. So I kind of want to say Star Trek TV shows, especially TNG and Voyager and Deep Space Nine. Those aren't from 2023, but that's what I mean, it's like it's a great show to watch, rewatch. It's one of my favorite things. Star Trek is just one of my favorite things. So I'm going to say that, I guess. We watched Bob's Burgers, but I think that was this year. And like, it's obviously, you know, Bob's Burgers isn't a new show. So I don't know. I think those are my answers. Not great answers, but I think my answer is that 2023 wasn't a good year for movies. What movies did you like in 2023? I wonder. Gosh, but there are so many. It's tough these days, man. There's so many shows and movies that come out that just aren't even that good. Ugh. We're in games and movies and shows. I think we're in quantity over quality these days. So. I don't know. I would be curious to hear what your top 3 are, actually, or anyone.
Alrighty, this is from Louis Erics. What were your top 3 movies or series of 2023? Here's the thing. I don't really watch movies. And I don't even watch much TV anymore. Although this is 2023. I now in 2024 have started reading books again. It only took like 6 years since graduating grad school for me to love books again, but we're there. It happened. 2023, I honestly think the only new movies that I watched in 2023 were the Barbie movie, which honestly, meh. Didn't actually care for it too much. I thought it missed the mark on a lot of things. And then I did watch Dune, the first one, and also meh. I read the book Dune and didn't really care for it, so I don't know why I thought I would like the movie. Yeah, just not the best. TV series, I've been going through Great British Bake Off again, and that's a good series. If you've never watched Great British Bake Off, what are you doing with your life? They're so nice to each other. The food looks so tasty. It's so much better than American cooking shows. Yeah. And then The Bear, obviously. If you're also not watching The Bear, what are you doing with your life? Like, get on it. It is the place to be. It is so good. Season 2 in particular was phenomenal. So, yeah. The Bear was the best. And the Great British Baking Show is consistently the best. If you know what I mean.
All right, B Jinx with the next question. Hey, Choco, Ben here. Hi, Ben. When are you going to get together with all of your streaming friends? Imagine how much fun it would be to have Reed, Hallie, Bob, Swag, Julian, Quest, and whoever else. All those. Also, those would be so fire IRL streams. Yeah, good question. I mean, the only way that really happens is if we go to an event, you know, like a TwitchCon or something like that. But I haven't had a lot of interest in going to TwitchCon. I don't like traveling. I'm just going to be honest. I don't like traveling. And TwitchCon from here on out is going to be in San Diego. So, and even if I go to TwitchCon, like who else is going? I don't know. I think TwitchCon is, I don't know. I feel like most streamers that I associate with don't go to TwitchCon. Wait, I'm trying to find your question again in my list. Okay, Reed, Hallie, Bob, Swag, Julian, Quest. I think Julian went to TwitchCon. I don't think anyone else in that list did. So I don't know. And the thing is, like, here's the problem. Doing that kind of stuff would be cool, but there is a problem for content creation where the amount of effort you put into something doesn't equal the amount of the results. So I kind of had that issue when I started doing, because I don't know if you've seen it or not, but right before the pandemic, we started doing content for like vlog content. Me and OG Pickle. I was gonna do this whole thing. You know, I just bought this house. I had a second streaming setup set up. I was gonna do this whole thing where like maybe once a month or something, I would have a streamer visit me if they wanted to, and we would stream together and we would do something IRL together and make a vlog. So I did the first one with Pickle, and if you haven't seen it, it's on the YouTube channel, where we went to an arcade. We went to Galloping Ghost Arcade. It was really cool. It did pretty well for views, but not that well. For the amount of effort that goes into it, the results were not really worth it. I mean, I could have kept doing it, but anyways, what happened was the pandemic happened, and then it was like, well, we can't do this anymore. And then I haven't revisited the idea. So it's something we could revisit. Now that I moved, I'm closer to some people. Like, I'm closer to Reed, I'm closer to Quest, so who knows? But when it's not your normal type of content for a streamer, it often isn't worth the effort, sadly. So we'll see. And getting all these people in the same place is going to be a pretty big challenge. So don't hold your breath, but anything could happen. Maybe TwitchCon next year. I don't know. Me and Reed have talked about doing magnet fishing. But again, I don't think it would be very like successful content, but it would be fun. I would just like to go magnet fishing just in general. It just seems like it'd be really fun. Or metal detecting. One of those two. I don't know where we would go metal detecting though. You kind of need to like be on a beach or something, right? Maybe? I don't know. But that is something we could do. That is something that I would want to do. So maybe that could happen. Maybe. Okay. Next question. Let me scroll here. Chigs McFallon for Choco. First off, glad you're feeling better. Just started learning the trombone age 40. Nice. It's never too late. Can you play me/us a tune for inspiration? Darn. No. It's been 6 years since your last toot. Yeah, true. Well, here's the thing that sucks. Even now, it is now October. Because of Bell's palsy, I don't have enough control over some of my muscles and nerves in my whatever side of my face it is. I cannot play. I've tried recently. I cannot play. So can I play you a tune? I know, I literally can't. It actually really sucks a lot. As someone who has spent so much of my life doing that, and I just can't do it anymore. It's kind of a huge bummer. Possibly something that could correct itself in the future, but probably not. So some days you wake up and you just can't ever play trumpet again. Darn. So that's gonna sadly be my answer for that one. But I'm really glad you're learning trombone. That's awesome. Learning an instrument is very fun, and if you start to, one thing you should look into is community bands. A lot of places have community bands. Even if you're like get to like just beginner skill level, they just get together and play a bunch of music. It's really cool. So I would Google that if you get interested in that. If you've continued playing. And then there's another question. How big is the team? We all know about Choco and Beth, but how many elves are there making cups of coffee and modding? Good question. Other than, I mean, it's basically me, and then Beth does YouTube editing and stuff like that. And like you mentioned in your question, mods. And that's it. If you're like a really big streamer, you might have like a whole team behind you. But someone like me, most people even my size don't even have any. That's just it. They're just one person. Maybe they have an editor. Probably like 50-50, I would say. So yeah, pretty small. I don't know how many mods do we have. I have no idea. I have no idea how many mods we have. Probably active mods, maybe like 8. That's going to be my guess. I can get fact checked maybe in the video or something. I don't know. Do they even do anything? I'm just kidding. It's a joke. They do a lot of stuff. But it's certainly, the channel isn't as active as it used to be, so. The mod team has, like, a lot of them aren't active anymore, which is totally fine, of course. But we don't need to bring anyone else on, so we have a pretty small team, I think, compared to what we used to have. But that's it. It's a pretty simple operation. Pretty simple operation. Love from Cornwall, UK. Oh, nice. Amazing. I want to come over there. I don't know if you know this or not, but I lived in London for a while, for 6 months in college. It's my favorite place I've ever lived, was London. I lived in central London near like Euston Station. That's, if I could live anywhere in the world, that's where I would live. And I could technically, but maybe not now. Maybe later. Maybe later.
From Chiffs McFallon. Hey guys, thanks for the hours, days in my headphones at work and in my eyes after. Appreciate the work, both of you. My question is, how big is the team? We all know about YouTube, but how many elves are there making cups of coffee and modding? Love from Cornwall, UK. That is the official team right there. The chocoTaco and myself. Choco has a talent agent, but he's on a different payroll. And OG Pickle used to do merch, but he's no longer on the team, so it's us. But obviously, Choco has Carrie and the four cats, all, you know, doing their things behind the scenes, sometimes on the scene. I have a boyfriend. He will make me tea sometimes, make me breakfast. That's it. That's the team right there.
Okay, next question is from Coolio for Choco. Hi, Coolio. A lot has changed since seeing you back in 2019 and seeing you now. What do you miss about streaming back then compared to now? Additionally, what is something you are grateful for that is present now and was not back in 2019? Okay, good question. Definitely, I think I have good answers for these, or like I know the answers. I feel bad when I don't know an answer. Like, what's your favorite top your movies of 2023? I don't know. What do you miss about streaming? I miss caring more and kind of like having more drive, I think. I've been doing this now for 7 years or something. 7.5 years? 7 years? I think 7 years. Started in 2017, summer of 2017. So that's, I don't know. I'm not a mathematician, but yeah, a little over 7 years. It was definitely much more exciting, and I would have a lot more interest in like doing things and improving the stream as I was growing the stream. Since like, I don't know, 2020, 2021, it's just a constant downward trend, which is totally fine, and I am totally have come to accept that, and I'm just happy to be here and grateful to be here. But that is something that I definitely miss. I just can't bring myself to, like, you know, I mean, if you watch the stream, you know, everyone has to bug me about uploading an emote that I haven't uploaded for weeks, or for example, doing this Q&A. I don't have the like passion, I guess. I still love streaming, of course, and I love my job, but I don't have like the drive to really want to like go above and beyond to do things on stream. I just like to sit down and play the video games, which honestly isn't enough, but it's what I do. So that's what I miss most for sure. Obviously, you know, yeah, being in that position where like everything was great, you know, the glory days was the other thing that I would say I missed, but kind of the similar thing. Additionally, what is something you are grateful for that is present now? I'm just grateful to be able to do what I do and play different games because, listen, we're in a situation now where multiple streamers who I have associated with even have retired. I mean, they're gone. Because they, you know, it's just not sustainable anymore for them, which is kind of crazy. And like other people that we don't talk about that have just kind of disappeared, lots of them who were like smaller streamers, they just couldn't do it anymore. So the thing I'm most grateful for is just being able to still stream and have you know, thanks to you guys, have like a pretty dedicated community who will watch me play not anything, but you know, I can still make it just playing whatever. And you know, I still of course keep all that stuff in mind, like numbers and analytics, and I play certain things based on viewership, like we were talking about with another question earlier. But I'm just grateful for that, because that's not something every streamer has, and I'm just lucky that I was big enough back then to drop down to where I am now and be able to sustain here and be happy and like live comfortably and make enough money. Because most people can't afford that, and they're just stuck in their game, and that is, I mean, I've kind of been there, sort of, and it sucks. I can just tell you, it is something that is very mentally bad, and a lot of people don't understand that. I think it's hard to understand that without being in that situation, but oh man, that sucks. So I'm just grateful to just be able to do what I do, basically. Kind of a cheese answer, but that's my answer. That's my answer.
This one is from Coolio. Hi, Coolio. For Beth, editing is extremely difficult. Watching everything in detail and then making informed decisions on what to put in the video or not sounds like my personal nightmare. Which game have you found the most challenging or time-consuming to edit? Rust. I don't think I've been shy about sharing that. I do not like editing Rust. You have to pay such careful attention to make the kind of videos that I make. Obviously, I'm not the fancy editor. I'm not doing a lot of crazy stuff and animations and anything in the videos. My strength as an editor is story, coherent story, and carrying storylines through. And in Rust, there is so much constant movement, so much saying, let's go here, let's go here, let's do this, while they're crafting, while they're doing stuff in the base. And like if they finish up a fight, and then they go home and they depot and then they go to launch site, I don't want to just have them finishing up the fight and then going to launch site. I want to have the conversation where they say, let's go to launch site. And that might be a 10-second conversation in the middle of this 10 minutes where they're at home depoting, gearing up, and doing all this stuff. So I think people on YouTube don't necessarily understand that I literally watch through all of the episodes that I edit. I see everything, and I decide what to cut out. It's a lot of work. It's a lot more work than like DayZ, where there are these big downtimes where they're running to this place or that place, and I can kind of skip through chunks of that. Rust is a nightmare to edit, and I don't like it, but I'm glad you guys like watching it, so thank you for doing that. Bye, Coolio.
Basement Cat. Next question. Over 8,000 hours of PUBG. What keeps you playing? Is it friends? Some other factor? Multiple things? I would have trouble getting back on after that much time. LOL. Yeah, so to answer your question, simply, what keeps you playing? Money. Obviously, I want to be able to keep doing what I do, and I want to be able to keep paying Broadstroke a good amount of money. So I kind of, you know, am responsible for that. So that's it. I mean, like, I can still play PUBG and have a good time. I think anyone that watches me can totally see that. Sometimes not so much, obviously, but a lot of the time, like, you know, if I play like once a week or something like that, I can very often end up having a pretty good time, or a really good time. But that being said, if I didn't need to get YouTube content for videos, I wouldn't play the game. I just wouldn't play the game. And it's not because I hate the game or anything like that, but it's just like what you said. It's 100% what you said. 8,000 hours in. I mean, what else is there to do? You can play a game. I mean, you could play a game for that many hours and still be super invested in it, for sure. For me, as a competitive person, the game is, and people will always flame me for this, but the game is kind of dead. Okay, it's definitely not a popular game anymore. And I cannot find myself interested in being good at a game or competitive in a game that nobody really cares about. So basically I jump on once a week, hoping I can get like somewhere between like 7 and 10 wins in one stream, or at least 7 to 10 good games in one stream. So we'll have YouTube content for that week, and then I get off and do other stuff for the rest of the week. So that's pretty much the only reason I keep playing, to be honest. Otherwise, I mean, PUBG is PUBG. I don't know. Like I said, it can be fun. I don't hate it. Not mad about playing it. I have fun a lot of the time, but I wouldn't be playing it if I didn't need to do it for YouTube content. Ceci Bones. Hi, Cece. Hello, Choco and Beth. Cece here. Both of these questions are for y'all. You answer both of them or just one? You answer both of them or just one? All right. I get to choose? What is the most embarrassing thing your parents... What the heck kind of question is this? What's the most embarrassing thing your parents caught you doing? Huh? No, I'm just kidding. What's the second question? And or have you ever had a paranormal experience? Oh. Okay, the first question. Sorry, not what you're hoping for. Nothing like that. Nothing like that. The most let me think actually for a second. Most embarrassing. I'm not really an I don't really get embarrassed. What is I don't know. What's the most embarrassing thing your parents caught you doing? No. I'm trying to think. Give me a second to think. Have you had a paranormal experience? No, I haven't had a paranormal experience. Sorry. Not a paranormal activity kind of person. Definitely have not had anything like that. Maybe I'd be a different person if I had, but I haven't. Just haven't. I really can't come up with something good for the first one. Like, a lot of people, I think, have something that happens to them that's embarrassing, and they remember it, like, forever, you know what I mean? It's, like, seared into their mind. But I can't think of anything embarrassing that's ever happened to me, ever. That's, like, memorable. And, I mean, maybe that's because I've been, like, a performer for a lot of my life. You just kind of, at some point, don't care anymore, maybe? My dad caught me playing Counter-Strike really late at night one night, and I don't know if that was embarrassing, but that's something I remember. I think it was like, I wasn't supposed to be up late anyways. I don't know how old I was, probably like, I was in high school. It was like 1 in the morning. I remember very specifically, I was ringing. No one's going to understand any of these words I'm going to say, but I was ringing for a Cal P team in CS 1.6. And we were literally on pistol round, and my dad comes in and is like, I don't know. He just is like, you need to go to bed. And I was like, gee dang. And then I had to leave the scrim. Oh no. What if I popped off? Maybe they would have added me to their team. That was kind of embarrassing, I guess. I don't know. Okay, one other thing that happened. It's not really embarrassing though, but we had an unfinished basement when I was a kid for like half my childhood. And we had a dartboard, but we weren't allowed to play darts because the unfinished basement, and you throw the darts, and what would happen? You'd miss and like damage something behind the wall, because there's no walls, there's no drywall. Well, a friend of mine, Sean, was over, and he convinced me that we should play darts, even though we weren't supposed to. And then first throw, boom, broke a pipe. What did I do? I left. He was going home anyways. His mom was there. He went home. I went and rode my bike down the street, and my mom just came storming down the street. She was mad. That was the maddest I've seen my mom. My parents never really got angry with me. Except for that time, my mom was kind of angry because I had like burst this pipe, and it was like hissing, I think. I think it was a Freon pipe, and I just didn't say anything and left. She found it, and she was not happy. That was kind of embarrassing, I guess.
Oh boy, this is from Ceci Bones, Cecily. Hello, Choco and Beth. Cece here. Both of these questions are for y'all. You can answer both of them or just one. What's the most embarrassing thing your parents caught you doing? And or have you ever had a paranormal experience? Is that pleasant? Paranormal experience, the closest I would say that I've come to that was... It's like... I grew up in Iowa. And we heated our basement with a wood stove, like an actual wood stove. And I couldn't sleep one night in my bedroom, so I went out to the living room and tried to lay down in a reclining chair that we had. I think, yeah, 4th grade. I literally think I was 4th or 5th grade. And there was something about the eerie. The fire was burning pretty low and red. And it did feel a little eerie out there, and I was laying on my stomach. And at one point, I kind of felt like you know, if you pretend to be a spider with your hand, I kind of felt something like that go up my back. And I kind of froze. And then I think I just eventually fell asleep. But that was the closest to something like being weird and feeling off and like just not quite right. In terms of my parents catching me doing something embarrassing, is that what it was? The most embarrassing thing your parents caught you doing? I was a really good kid, honestly. And if I was doing something I wasn't supposed to be doing, I didn't get caught. So, I was painting a picture in my bedroom one time in high school, and I was cleaning up and putting things away, and I spilled the red paint on my carpet. And we had like cream colored carpet in this house. So I just spilled red paint on my carpet, and I had to go tell my dad, hey dad, I just spilled red paint on my carpet, and he was not very happy, and I was very embarrassed, but that wasn't something he caught me doing. Oh, I was a lifeguard also. That was my first official job, was as a lifeguard. And I was trying, my dad wouldn't let me bleach my hair. So I was putting lemon juice in it before I would go out on my shift. And I came home from lifeguarding one day, and my mom was like, why is there lemon juice? You know, just like a tub of lemon juice in the bathroom. And I explained to her that I was trying to bleach my hair that way. And I was embarrassed, but again, I was a good kid in general. I was just a good kid. So nothing too crazy.
Okay, I see Ponkberry has the next question, which isn't a question, it's just, hey chair. Hey, Ponk. Hey. There you go, Ponk. There you go. All right. Oh, is this the part of the recording when I realize my mic is muted? No, it's not muted. All right. Not muted. All right. Thank you, Ponk. As always. Okay, next question is from Rogue0007. Wait, Rouge? Wait, how do you spell rogue? Oh gosh, these two words next to each other don't. Okay, Rouge, sorry. I'm too stupid. Questions. 2 questions. First question. How did you come up with the name chocoTaco? Was it because chocoTaco is your favorite dessert? I honestly do not have an answer for this question. I don't know. I've been using the name chocoTaco since, like, earlier I talked about Half-Life Deathmatch. I started using it then. So I started using it when I was like 11 or 12 years old. I don't recall ever having eaten a chocoTaco or having them like at school or anything. So where did I get the name? I actually don't know. Of course, I have no affiliation with the ice cream. Do we need to put like a legal thing on here? Disclaimer or something? Beth, I don't know. Nothing to do with the ice cream. But I actually don't know. And it's just, I just stuck with it. For some reason, I just really wanted to keep the same name through everything. Every game pretty much I played forever. And I did that, and here I am, 20 years later or whatever. 20 something years later, same name. So were even chocoTacos around back then? Yeah, they must have been. They actually probably predate me. And then question 2, why'd you stop merch? Oh, any plans for dropping stuff soon? Well, if you didn't know about this, here's what happened. Disclaimer, not associated with the ice cream. What happened was we had really awesome merch, really, really good merch. And I worked with OG Pickle and his company, and it was awesome. The merch was so good. The artists were amazing. We regularly put out new stuff. But what happened was, Unilever, who is the corporation that owns Klondike, sent us a cease and desist and said they would sue us or whatever because of my merch, which really sucked. Technically, talking to a lawyer, like, it could have been fine, but like then you have to go to court with a billion-dollar corporation, so that's not going to work. The merch company didn't want to deal with it, of course. They're not going to risk anything by doing that, so we just had to shut it down, unfortunately. I can see their side of it. They didn't have any problem with my stream, just the merch. Some of the merch, like with this logo, like some of the merch that was just that, I could see that being maybe confusing. So that was kind of that. And then, you know, that was it. Merch shut down. I've done a little bit of merch since then, but it's just really hard because like the whole brand was so strong and now it just kind of sucks. So we'll see if we'll do more merch. I don't know. It's another one of those things where it's maybe not worth the effort to do all that stuff. Might end up losing money on it even, possibly. I don't know. Like paying artists to do all that stuff, getting everything figured out. So I wouldn't wait for any more merch. I did some like last year, short run, and we just did stuff that didn't have my logo and stuff like that. I really wish I could change my branding to just Choco. That's what I want. But I can't do that because the person, if you haven't heard this, someone else has Choco on Twitch. Let me look right now. Twitch.tv/Choco. Twitch won't give me the name because this person, they used to stream. They did stream 8 months ago. But I think that's their only stream this year. But they're active. I think they're an active chatter. And so they won't give the name to anyone if it's an active account, which I get. I wish they would still give it to me, to be honest, because it's kind of important. Hopefully I don't get sued again or whatever. But anyways, I was able to contact this person, and believe it or not, some of you have definitely heard this already, so sorry about that. But I talked to them, and I offered them $10,000 for the name, so I could change my name to just Choco, and they said no. They said no. And that was that. I mean, I was like thinking, you know, what's the best number I would offer them? I'm going to offer them something kind of outrageous. And then they just said no. And that's fine. Not everyone needs money. I get it. Or whatever. Maybe it's more important to them, you know. Maybe the name is really important to them for some reason. I was using the example on stream of like, you know, if someone walks up to you and says like, I'll give you $50,000 for your dog. Well, like 90% of people are going to say no, right? So it is a bummer. I still do wish Twitch would give me the name because it's like someone that doesn't stream and like, ugh, I don't want to like bully them out of their name, but at the same time, I actually would, because I mean, it's my business, you know. So then I might do more merch if that ever happens, but until then, pretty much nothing. No plans. Rick Pillar with the next question. I've seen your trombone in the background, trumpet. It was way back there and tiny. How would you know? Do you play in a band? If so, what kind of band? Did you go to university/college, and what did you study? Yeah, this is all tied in. So it's trumpet. I learned trumpet when I was a kid. Played in school, of course, and that's what I went to college for. So I went to college for trumpet performance. I went to a liberal arts school, so I actually like took classes in all kinds of stuff. which I really loved. That's, I went to Center College in Danville, Kentucky, and big fan of that kind of education. Big fan, actually. But yeah, that's what I did. I did it all in college. That's why it's a bummer with this whole Bell's palsy thing. I can't play anymore. I ended up not going to grad school for it. I auditioned a bunch of places. I got into some places, but couple schools gave me like half tuition, but I wasn't going to go to grad school without full tuition because I didn't want to ask my parents for any money. I didn't want to take out a loan, so I just didn't go. And I didn't go at the time, and then I was like, maybe I'll go back later and go back to school later. Didn't ever do that. So that's that for school. I was good at my instrument. Not good enough to get into where I wanted to get in. And the number one school I wanted to get into was Yale, but I didn't make it past the final audition. I think I made it to the third round of auditions, and then I failed and didn't get in. And that would have been great because Yale has some kind of like $100 million grant or something, or donation from some anonymous person. So if you get into Yale Music School, you go for free no matter what. So that was my number one choice. But anyways, didn't end up going, and then now I can't even play anymore. So I don't play in a band. I did play in like some community bands, which is like they play like regular band music, like not like ska or anything like that. It's like a full concert band. I played in one of those for a while in Schaumburg, Illinois, with some friends from work. And that's like a whole big operation. These things are all over the place, all over the country. It's like, it was like probably a 50, 60, 70 person band playing like, brass band music, classical music, stuff like that. So I was in one of those. Obviously, I was in a lot of bands in school: jazz band, orchestra, trumpet ensemble, Renaissance ensemble. I was in like a little bit of everything. So that's my answer for that one. Okay, we got a couple more questions here. Marios for Choco. Do you ever regret moving to variety streaming over PUBG? Knowing what you know now, was it the right decision? Well, of course, knowing whether or not it's the right decision doesn't have anything to do with the results. You can only make the decision based on the information you have at the time. So I wouldn't really judge a past decision based on what happened. I would judge the decision based on what was happening then. For the first part of the question, do I regret it? No, absolutely not. I was in a pretty bad place mentally anyways. Of course, I stopped playing PUBG totally because, I was going to have to buy my game. My game was crashing so much, I couldn't play the game. I tried so much stuff to fix it. I would have had to buy a new PC completely, and it probably would have fixed my problem. But that was too far, and it wasn't really guaranteed that that would even fix it, because a lot of other people were having problems with crashes too. But also at the time, I just was so mentally, it's hard. I know this is something that's difficult to talk about, especially with anyone it's very easy to talk about with streamers because they get it. But it's difficult to talk about with people who haven't been a streamer or a content creator. But even though you're just playing a game, it's not easy to do that if you don't want to do it. And I know people go to work, listen, I've had a lot of jobs also in my past. You might not want to go to work. You might not like your job. I get it, but it is very different when you have a camera on you and you have to interact with everyone. No breaks. It is exhausting. And also, when you're playing a game like that, obviously I'm known for being a skilled player or whatever. So you have to perform at a high level while interacting with everyone, while always being happy, which you aren't, with the camera on your face. Can't say anything wrong because it'll be clipped. So it can be very exhausting as a streamer. So I certainly don't regret it. I was so much happier after that, I will say. And I know other streamers who have done the same thing, and they're also so much happier. And I also know streamers For example, I'll use him as an example. I don't think he would mind. Hollywood Bob, of course, as many of you know, he's a good example of someone who is like stuck in the category. And I don't want to say he's miserable. And I'm not saying anything that he wouldn't tell you on stream. Okay, I'm not like revealing any secrets. But it's not fun, and it's not good, and it's very hard mentally. So I'm very glad, very, very glad that I got away from that, and don't regret it, and definitely was the right decision for me at the time. And everything's worked out really well. I mean, I'm really happy with where I am at, and, you know, honestly, I do think there'll be like a PUBG 2 at some point, and that will just be explosive for me career-wise. So if that doesn't happen, that's fine. I mean, you know, thanks to so much support from everyone when I was like much bigger on Twitch, like, and YouTube, 2018, 2019, like, it's put me in a position where I can kind of have some, I can kind of be a little bit comfortable, having enough money saved and stuff like that, so I don't have to worry about it. So definitely it was the right decision at the time, and definitely don't regret it. And also, just want to say, shout out to all the streamers out there who are stuck in their category, who feel like kind of like a circus clown, who just have to go in, day out, smile, nod, play something they hate. It's hard too when it's something like PUBG, where it's so frustrating, dude. It can be so frustrating. If I played that game every day now, I would lose my mind. I couldn't do it. I just couldn't do it. It's just such it's like everywhere you look in that game is a reminder of why it failed in the end. And it's like all these things could be very easily fixed or changed or whatever, and they're not. Anyways, I don't want to get onto a rant about this, so I'm going to go on to the next question.
This is from Marios. For Beth, if you had to pick... Why am I holding it like this? For Beth, if you had to pick just one, what's your favorite video on the channel and why? My favorite video? Like one video? All right, I'm going to have to cut out here because I'm going to have to think about this. One video? I don't know what it's called, and I could probably find it. I'd have to search for a little bit, but there was a stretch in, gosh, 2018, probably 2018, where Choco just could not, he just couldn't win a game of PUBG. We were down to like our last few edits. I didn't have anything else to put on the channel, and so pressure was on. Like, Choco had to win a game. And he was playing with Reed, and there was this crazy game that ended on the beach, Erangel, and they definitely shouldn't have won. There was a boat in play at one point, and against all odds, they won, and Choco was so excited, and he was so happy. I think Reed said something like he was going to punch his monitor because he was so excited. Like, it was just such a victorious moment because you could just tell that Choco felt so bad because he hadn't won a game in so long. And then they won finally, and it broke the curse, it broke the spell. And it was just really, really nice seeing him be like that happy and that relieved. Yeah, the excitement was palpable at the end of that. So that's the only one that's coming to mind at the moment, but it's a good one. I'll do my best to find it, and I'll link it right here for your viewing pleasure.
Last question, actually, hold on. Last question. GM Tron. Hi, Choco. Any plans for periodical DayZ streaming in 2024? Survival and or base building? Asking, as this is one of the very few games I really enjoy watching you play more than playing it myself. Yeah, the new map just came out, and I haven't checked it out yet. I would like to play it, but I haven't gotten around to it, and we do have other plans for some other games. As of when I'm recording this, we're about to start playing Satisfactory, which is I'm looking forward to. So DayZ is not on the menu at the moment, but it could happen. I just don't know. As far as periodical, I don't have any plans for that. It is a game that is highly requested, so it just depends. Like right now, what I'm playing is so dependent on just what's happening, you know? I kind of go in and out of different phases. And we did try to play base building. When was that? A couple months ago? We had a really good wipe day playing Deer Isle base building in DayZ. And, well, it turns out the whole time we were playing on the wrong server. We were playing on the EU servers. And that was after like 8 hours of playing or something. We just got our base set up. I don't think that made it to YouTube. I'm not sure, but we ended up just deciding to quit because we were on like 120 ping, and like with the time difference, we were playing and like there was no one on the server because it was like 3 a.m. or something in EU. So, and then we tried to do it again on what map? I can't remember the name of the map. Anyways, the map that has the punch card and the bunker. And we just didn't really have a very good time, sadly. So it just depends on what's going on. You know, if it happens and we decide to do it, we'll do it, and we'll probably do it for like a full month or something. So it just depends. Sorry, that's not the answer you're looking for. I'm glad you enjoyed the DayZ, and I'm sorry I don't play as much. I know I played a lot that 1 year, and then it is a game you could just put unlimited hours into, but I am of the opinion that is not shared by a lot of streamers right now and gamers in general, that I just think there's so many great games to play right now. I mean, there are so many awesome games I just want to put tons of hours into. So I'm not like looking for something. I don't need something. I'm just ready to, you know, put tons of time into Rust, then put tons of time into Escape from Tarkov. Now I'm going to put tons of time into Satisfactory. Path of Exile 2 is coming out. Like, there's just so many games that I want to play. So just stay tuned. Maybe we'll do some DayZ. Sorry about that. And thanks for watching the DayZ stuff. Hopefully there'll be a base building server for the new map. Maybe that could be something that'd be fun to do. But that's it. That's the last question. Unless there's another question after this, which is Beth. Beth would be answering that one. Although I don't know if she has different questions than me. Are there questions just for Beth? I don't remember. I don't know. I'm just seeing these questions. I just work here.
All right, that's it for me. Thank you. We will try to not let this many months go by again. But again, no promises.
So, appreciate the questions. Send more after this. I promise that I will do this quicker next time. A lot of things happened. I was dying. I was sick. It was horrible. Then I moved. That was so time consuming outside of stream. But now it's all over. So as always, thank you guys for the questions. Thanks for watching the content. And I will see you in the next one. GG's.
Bye.
Should I do this ending screen? I don't know. I just don't know. Hi YouTube. Thanks for watching my videos, YouTube. I love you.